what are the actual traits that make a woman kind of an object of obsession?
Many people think that just doing nice makeup and putting on a beautiful outfit will make you so different, beautiful, and gorgeous, and people will get attracted to you.
I think that some women may look at that negatively. Was it difficult in those beginning days? Welcome back to another episode of the Creator Method podcast. Today I have Tetiana Iordan with me. Tetiana, how you doing?
I'm doing just great. How about you?
You know what? I've been saying recently that if I was doing any better, it would be illegal and they would have to come and take me away. So things are great. I was just telling you before we started how this is probably my favorite part of what I do professionally, is not specifically the podcast, but speaking with creators. And that's, since I started this thing and, since I started working with my wife, obviously she was the only creator I spoke with for many years. But after opening up and starting Creator Method and building out this community, I talk to creators every day. Like, I've already been on 2 calls before I sat down with you, going over all of the different scenarios and use cases, and a lot of it is really tied into emotions. But I want to jump into your story because I can go on and on about creators and content creation. I am going to jump in and I'm going to read the introduction I have for you, and then we are going to get right to it. Tetiana Iordan is an international image expert, master coach, and author whose work is redefining elegance and confidence for women worldwide. With a global audience of over 1.5 million on Instagram and over 400,000 on TikTok, Tetiana has built a powerful platform blending classic etiquette, body language, style, and presence into a modern framework for self-expression. She holds a master's degree in law, trained at the Austrian School of Etiquette, and is a member of the Association of Image Consultants International. Her flagship program, The Key to Your Confidence, along with her workshops, books, and content, has positioned her as a leader in helping women unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally.
That sounds amazing.
It sounds like it's.
I feel so much better about myself.
You should. I hope you weren't feeling bad before, because you're awesome. I've been pouring over your content, and before the camera started rolling, you and I were talking about kind of some of the things that we'd be talking about, and I want to jump into kind of one thing right out the gates, is what are the actual traits that make a woman kind of an object of obsession? Because in your bio you talk about the fact that you show women how to become the type of women that, and not, you didn't say men, you said people, that people obsess over. Mm-hmm. So what are those traits that make a woman obsession worthy?
All right, so many people think that just doing nice makeup and putting on a beautiful outfit will make you so different, beautiful, and gorgeous, and people will get attracted to you. But as soon as when they start speaking to you, and you have no idea how to hold a small talk. Mm-hmm. As soon as they see you move and you're like so shy, you try to be small and miserable, and maybe they sit down with you for dinner and you don't know how to behave. I'm not talking about behave, but how to interact with like silverware and how to use a napkin, all that. Like your whole appearance, like your whole image is ruined. So it's a woman who is like really worked on herself in all those areas, like manners, etiquette, because we're not just like about appearance, we're all about also the way we introduce ourselves, the way we present yourself, and so just someone who is really good at everything.
Well, I think you've really hit the nail on the head, because when I look at your content, and especially the content that's really grown your audience, is these kind of side-by-sides where you're so right. It's these, you would think that they're almost trivial and small things, but they're not. And I remember watching your content and just kind of describe to people, everyone should go and take a look and go into your Instagram, but you have a split screen. And something as simple, and the video you were telling me about that has like 120 million views or something?
Yeah, 112 million.
112 million, where it's literally you're sitting on a chair and you're showing how to correctly drink a bottle of water and how to incorrectly drink a bottle of water. And you're so right, because I feel like watching your content and talking with you, I have such a much better understanding of why I fell in love with my wife. Because in reality, I mean, she's stunning, she's beautiful.
She's so elegant and gorgeous.
Thank you. Yes, to all of those things, absolutely. But it's more than that. Valeria has this natural ability in the way that she carried herself now and then as well. There was just this amazing combination of, charm and modesty, but still sexy. And so I was never able to describe it to people, But now, like, I see this as what you're teaching, and you're teaching it to a lot of women who maybe it may not come naturally to. And I think your biggest use case, correct me if I'm wrong, is in meeting men. It's like, it's how to appeal to men, right? Like,
Well, yeah, it's one of them is like how to meet the right partner
Yeah.
that you want to, because like the man who's like worthy, a decent man, he also has standards. And when women come to me like, oh, I want to get a really great guy, like worthy, rich, blah, blah. And then ask her like, what do you think he wants? Who he
Yeah.
wants to see next to him? And then I ask you, are you at that level?
Yeah.
Like, are you confident? Do you know how to hold yourself, how to present? Is your posture good? Like, can you hold a small talk? Like, are you an interesting person yourself? And then she goes like, oh, no, I got to work on myself. And so, okay, come, I'll teach you.
that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, and another thing, it's actually also helps in business. So it's another part, which is like when you come to an interview, and if you're like shy, your voice is like so like breaking, and you like have no idea how to even present yourself again, like your interviews are going to be like all, you're not going to pass them.
They're not going to
So,
take
yeah.
you seriously. Look, I think in general, kind of from my point of view as a man, and we typically don't get too controversial on creator method, but I don't mind doing it because this is a really interesting topic for me. I find that in society, and I could be completely wrong, and I want to get your opinion, that women are pursuing a beauty standard. Like, I see it, like there's whole industries behind it.
Yeah.
Women look beautiful, and when it comes to their cosmetics and when it comes to their skincare routine, their fitness, their fashion, women are always on this. I feel like women are on this like mission to achieve this beauty standard. But then the interesting thing that happens with that, and the really unfair thing that I'm observing that happens with that, is that as women become more beautiful and as they're approaching the beauty standard, they become taken less seriously for their other attributes, which is their intelligence, which is their business acumen, their ability to hold a conversation. So it's interesting, like what you're putting together is, and what you're teaching women is that how to overcome that, because yes, it's true that there are certain things that not just men, I think other women too, that the more beautiful a woman is, the less they're taken, like the less they're valued for anything outside of their aesthetic.
Exactly.
Right? So is that something that you kind of talk about, where you talk about like, yes, it is important to be beautiful and to be fashionable and to be healthy and fit and all that. But also, like, to your point, like the what you teach in terms of the posture, I think is not just the posture, but everything. It's really important. So how do you find that? Do you find, am I correct in what I'm saying?
I 100% agree with you that you gotta be like good at everything, as I just said. So it's not just like being pretty is not enough right now.
Okay.
I mean, maybe 10 years ago, everyone would be like, oh, I'm just pretty and like, well, look cute. But now men, they wanna meet a woman who's like intellectual, it's interesting to talk to
Yeah.
her, and who can be like confident, like next to him. And all
Right.
that. But confidence comes with those subjects I teach, like the way you hold yourself once again, and interaction, all that. So yeah, all these points are important. Of course, in my courses, like it's all transformation, and we teach about like motivation and how to also like you gotta work on your, intelligence. You gotta read and take courses and classes, how to be like worthy yourself, an interesting person. It's not just body
No,
language.
of course. I also love how you're addressing what I believe is, I mean, look, it's really, it's crucial because there's a point in a time, like in a woman's life while she's still single. I think a lot of people, or I think some people may not undermine, but what you're doing is extremely important, because finding the right partner for a woman or a man, I think it's the most important thing. And if you can equip women how to not only attract a quality partner, but also how to understand if that's a quality partner.
Yeah.
And on that point, like you were talking about, I was watching one of your videos, and it's like how to determine if he's actually single. And that's like the basic thing, because as a woman, like the last thing you want to do is get involved with a married man or a man who's taken,
I
right?
don't want that.
And I loved what you were saying about you just call him at 7:00.
Yeah, at 7 p.m. This is the funny thing. That's what my ex-husband told me. He was like, oh, there's one really cool trick you can do. If he's with his family, he's busy, he's not going to pick it up, and he's not going to call you back very soon.
Yeah, because he's busy at dinner with his wife and kids.
Exactly. But so many people are like, oh, my dinner is a different time. It's not true, blah, blah, blah. But I got so many comments, so that we all got, like.
Absolutely.
got more
Absolutely.
views.
I also love, and again, it might be a controversial take. And before the cameras, like before we sat down, I told you that I'm very much aligned with your philosophies, because Valeria and I are very much like traditional, traditional in terms of like, kind of gender roles in marriage and before marriage and when people are dating. And, you made some content out. You didn't get into the specifics because I believe it's already in your course. It's how to get gifts. And I think that some women may look at that negatively.
Yeah.
And some men will look at it negatively, but I don't look at it negatively. I think a woman should get gifts. I think a man should, in Russian, the word is, you and I both speak Russian, the word is ухаживать,
Ухаживать.
right?
Yeah.
How would you translate the word ухаживать? To take care of, kind
I
of?
was just thinking of taking care of, but it's a little bit different. Like, try to get her? Oh, no, that's attention. I don't
No,
know. When
that's-
you're trying to, like, what is it called? Like, конфетно-букетный период? How do you say it?
The honey. Well, I think what you just said is maybe something like close to the honeymoon stage. But look, ухаживать is like
To make a woman fall in love with you.
yeah,
like
just
when you
to pay
make some
attention to real.
steps.
Yeah.
But also about gifts, it's even like inside the relationships, if you are together for 10 years, like everyone wants to, like every woman wants attention. For example, she wants a gift. And there are different ways she can get it. She can be
Right.
like drama, like, get me this, get me that. And like this causes like the negative relationships. But then what I teach them, some tricks like how to be nice and kind. A woman, like a guy would want to get something for you.
Yeah.
It's not about like, you like get gifts even for Christmas, for New Year's, but sometimes you get wrong gifts. And I
Yeah.
teach them how to get what you want. Anyways, you'll get something. But then everybody will be upset.
Right. Well, I think it's a really positive thing, and I think that women should, to a certain degree, accept gifts. But it's controversial, right? Because I think
course.
there are some men who will say, "Well, if she's expecting gifts, she's a gold digger, and I don't want to, I don't want that." Listen, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's well put together. I don't know, like, you don't think you should be doing something to show her your appreciation? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't she want gifts? It's like a stupid thing. And I tell men this, and I say it's actually like not a very smart thing. I remember, when Valeria and I started dating, I had been with a number of the wrong women who would just insist. They would just bluntly say, "Hey, you better buy me a gift."
Oh, wow.
And no, that happened to me a few times. I met Valeria later, like I was 38 years old, so I had a little bit of experience. But with Valeria, she was so modest in everything, where the philosophy I took with her is like, you can have anything you want. And I just took any limits off.
Smart woman. She knew how to get the gifts in the right way.
Well, that's the thing is, and she never wanted anything. And she still like, she never wants anything. And the thing is that because of that mindset that she had, it made me want to do more for her. So I think, and that's what you're teaching.
That's exactly what I was talking about. It's not about you come and tell him, okay, buy me this, that. No. It's more like about psychology between man and woman. It's something I teach inside the courses as well.
I think if a woman's done a good job, a man will want to do nice things for her. Not just gifts, anything.
Yeah, and it's not just about like gifts, exactly. It's about helping around, so like helping with, I don't know, some people say kids, but I feel like it's like work for both. It's not like, oh, you're
sure.
helping with the kids. But even like there is something with your car or something with your computer, your man would want to come and help you out, not just like, okay, do it yourself, I don't care.
Valeria was recently on a podcast with a friend of hers, Emily DiDonato, and they were talking about it within marriage. There's blue problems and pink problems, meaning the blue problems are things for men to, and then there's pink problems. Like, for example, putting gas in our cars, that's a blue problem. That's something Valeria's like, hey, I'm reminding you there's no gas in my car.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you can ask husband to put a gas in the car.
Well, actually, there's a bit of a cheat on that, and I don't know if it's in every city, but in Miami, there's a service that delivers gas to your house.
Wow, I've
But
never heard of that
yeah,
either.
yeah. You just go into an app and they come to your house. You leave the gas tanks open on your car, and then you just fill up your car right on your driveway, and then you forget about it. But Valeria, to her, she doesn't even want to think about the gas at all, so she won't even download the app. But that's the whole kind of man-woman dynamic. So there are
Great.
certain things that that she went through. Talk to me. I want to kind of switch gears a little bit, and I want to go into content creation for you. So I was blown away because when you and I were talking before we sat down here, you told me you have the 1.5 million followers, but they all came in the last how long?
So from 230 people, not thousand,
So
like people, 230 people.
230 followers, not
Yes. No,
230,000 followers.
not thousand, just people. It was like
230 followers.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. It was in April. By
Of
December.
what year?
Last year. It was April last year.
So it's about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
Okay.
And then by December, I had 1 million. So it started in April. My first reel got
Sorry,
viral.
in April of last year. And so
Yes,
from
and by
April to December is about
December.
7 months.
Yeah,
So in 7 months, you gained 1 million followers.
exactly.
So I just want you to know, I've never heard of growth like that. Like that's something that I mean, I've looked at I follow a lot of accounts and I work with a lot of people and I've never seen anything like that. So what did that come from? Was that mostly from like, how many reels did that come from? Were you able to like observe?
Yeah, it was like 150, sort of 150 reels. But it was more about before I started making reels, I was learning so much about reels production, how to make them viral, how to make people watch till the end, and how to like learn like all the tricks. Because I was
Okay.
even like a teacher at some course to teach people how to make reels before I started my own blog. So, and it happened when I came up with my own type of a reel, when you do like half and half. It's not something new, but then I added a few things that made people watch longer.
Right.
And it was like super short. Also, the music was important, the subtitles, all that. And that's how it worked. And my first reel got like 1 million views overnight. I was like, wow, that happened to me, really? I was like, no way. And then I started making all of them like this, like half and half. So my account started like gaining followers just from those reels.
So you did something that a lot of people pursue for a very long time, and that you found that format, right? So you do you remember how you figured out to do this split screen and to do this concept where it's the right way to kind of move and versus the wrong way to move? Like
Yeah.
how did you come up with that?
So I came up with that. There is nothing new in this world. Like
Yes,
you
yes.
can come up with the wheel because other people are doing this.
Of course.
So other people are doing this, but I just did it in my era,
Perfect.
like in etiquette, in
Perfect.
body language.
Perfect.
But also I added the subtitles differently. No one did it.
Of course.
That's why my
Of
reels
course.
got
No, I think
viral.
I think it's brilliant. But I think I would want to a little bit challenge what you're saying in terms of the videography, the tricks to get people to stay till the end. Yes, there's an element of that, but I believe if you would have used all of those same elements in subject matter that was perhaps different, I don't know that you would have the same success. Meaning, I don't necessarily think you can apply like editing tricks and hacks universally to everything,
Yeah,
and
you're
it'll
probably
succeed.
right. Yeah, of course not.
Right. So so my guess would be that it was also, quite frankly, your aesthetic. It's your fashion. It's
thank you.
no, but it's true, right? It's also the way that you move, because when I look at those split screens, I may not have ever considered the way a woman sits down and how her posture affects my perception of her. But when I saw it side by side the way you did it, I was like, of course, the correct one is far more appealing. And it got me thinking, yes, of course, this is, I would be more drawn to a person behaving like this versus like that.
Yeah, and I'm so lucky you like it because so many people hate me.
Why do they hate you?
write so many nasty messages to me, even like messages. They would write like "kill yourself."
No, but
Yeah, it's so bad. But yeah, just,
Well, I'm
just
so-
for
I'm
the
sorry.
bottle of water, for the bottle of water. I was like, are you people insane? So people are gonna hate you anyway. Just do your thing.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. So first of all, I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Already.
But you have to understand, like, a lot of this is jealousy, right? A lot of this are women who, quite frankly, are jealous because you're beautiful. A lot of them are, if they could, they would. They can't, so they get very upset about it. So I mean, I hope that's not something that you struggle with in terms of.
Well, I did struggle when I just had it like first for the first few weeks. But I did talk to other people who like content creators, and it was like, okay, if you have followers and people who love you, you're gonna have haters.
Of course.
And what I've heard is like a tax for being popular.
It's
You're
a
gonna pay
tax.
tax for being popular.
It's a tax for being popular. But the thing is yes. So I agree with the phrase. The only what I would challenge is that you're not actually paying anything. Like, it actually doesn't cost you anything. It only costs you something if you let it cost you something, and that's something common. I mean, Valeria, she would get upset in the beginning, but she was also much younger. I mean, she was in her like mid-20s, and I was there to be like, don't worry about it. And that all comes from this one story where I had a meeting with Kris Jenner, and I've told the story before. And I was in Chris's home, and we were talking, and I remember telling her, if like I was discussing doing some business with her, and I said to her, look, if you do this with me, it's going to be very obvious that you're monetizing your audience. Back then it was on Facebook. And she said, she got like upset, and she goes like, I won't say what she said because it was obscene, but she said, I don't care. Like, I'm doing all of this work. I'm putting in so much effort to provide people with entertainment. My whole family is out there. We sacrifice so much. We work so hard. and they're unhappy about something, it's okay. Like she said, like F them. I don't want them. They can leave, they can unsubscribe. They don't like the fact that I'm monetizing. And so what I would say, to you to make yourself, if you do struggle with the attitude of these
I
people,
did stop like 6 months ago.
you stop
But
caring about
I
it.
stopped caring about it.
But my point is you have to like say like you're doing all of this work, you're giving them this stuff for free.
Exactly.
You're so much value and they're on top complaining about it. That's okay. They can go.
It's exactly what I told them.
Do you often block people and delete their comments?
Yeah, like the ones who write me like DMs, and those are so nasty. And I'm like, okay, before I would start talking to them, I was like, oh no, this and that. But now I just block and delete.
Good, good. I'm just curious, is it mostly men or women with the negative comments?
Actually, probably women, but some men as well.
I can imagine.
So, but there was one post, it's so interesting, like 3,000 people unfollowed me after I posted this. It was exactly about how to behave so men will like you. Of course, it was something triggering. And there was something, like I said, oh, you should never open a jar in front of your man. So like not showing you're like masculine, and all the women was like, no, what are you talking about? I can do it myself. And was like, it's not about this. It's completely about a different thing. This is how you call it, not open a jar. Of course, you're not gonna wait the whole day
Right.
without that jar waiting for
course.
you. But they were so angry with me. So they like, I got like 100 messages, people saying unfollow, unfollow, unfollow. Like I liked you before, not anymore.
That's okay. That's okay. But hold on a second. When you say 3,000 people unfollowed you, if I remember correctly, on the insights, it doesn't say what the unfollows are. It just says what the follows are. So you correlated it that at the time that went up, you had a lot of unfollows that day.
Yeah, so that day, because sometimes I just go and I look in statistics and how many I have
Right.
exactly.
You looked at the net new, like you
Yeah.
looked at the net difference.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
then
yeah.
if you were to go back into that video, how many follows did it get?
I mean, it wasn't video, it was a post.
A post, sure.
Pictures, yeah. Then I mean, like, I got more unfollows than follows.
You got more.
Unfollows for that particular day.
No, but you don't know because for that day, but not
Yeah.
on that post,
Yeah,
you don't know.
I don't know about that post
Right.
particularly.
But
yeah.
did you grow since then?
Of course I did.
So the
Yeah,
net
I
result
don't
was
care.
positive. But sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I just like, I was so surprised people would get upset about such a like feminine and masculine thing. They a little different.
Well, I think
like
in-
I said, traditional. I'm all about traditional like you are and your
Yes,
wife.
yeah.
So those people aren't probably.
I think in general, when it comes to gender roles, whether it's in dating or in marriage or just like in society at large, for some reason it's triggering to people, which I find fascinating. Like the reality of gender seems to really upset people for some reason. I don't know why, but listen, but at the same time, like, it's okay for people to have difference of opinions, and it's okay for people not to agree with you and not like your content. And that's why we live in this free world where they can just unfollow you.
Exactly.
Which is great. So, okay, you gained all of this traction, what I would call pretty much overnight. The first thing I want to illustrate to all creators is that you have to stay the course. Like you, I think, were very fortunate and you were very talented that this happened. I just wanted to come back and say that I think that, yes, the videography and the tricks and the hacks played a role, but it's not what got you your success. It's you. It's you showing up. It's how the way you are in the content itself.
Exactly,
So I think I'd like you to give yourself like more credit than
Thank you.
than the edits and whatnot. How has your life changed in any meaningful way since you've gotten this amount of fame so quickly?
It did change because now when I travel, people come to me on the streets.
Okay.
And it's like, are you Tetiana Iordan? I was like, yeah. Oh, can I take a picture with you? I can't believe this is you. They get so excited. And last time I traveled to Bali, the ladies, they wanted to like meet up. So we did like the whole lunch together. It was so nice.
Your members,
Yeah, I mean, they weren't my name, just followers. Like, yeah, just the followers.
just followers. Okay.
And it was nice. So yeah, that changed. So now, actually, I feel like when I go out, I always have to look pretty because I'm like, an example. Because I'm all about elegance. And
Of course.
my whole programming courses. So in this way, and of course, I feel so much better about myself because that's something that I struggled before. I wasn't confident at all. Like 5 years ago, before I started this, I was even too shy to pick up a phone to make a call. I was like, no. Of course, it was like a language barrier, and I've been working on that a lot. But still, I was like super shy.
Okay.
And now I have ladies who are shy, like to gain all that through those wonderful subjects I teach.
Yeah. So how did you? I mean, you have a lot of credentials, but outside of the credentials, like how did you gain your experience in being able to coach women on how to do the things that you teach them how to do?
So one of the first things that I did when I started making videos, I realized I don't like my voice. I don't like the way I move. So I did take classes and courses for speech.
Wow.
With also, what do you call that? Public speaking.
Right.
And also I did for like vocal singing. And I
Right.
did for acting. So I was developing myself all the time. And even now I'm taking courses and classes to work with like even better, to look better and to present myself better. But then I took all those courses on body language of people who like were knowledgeable, and then I started teaching people that and etiquette too, and the other ones.
What a dedication to your craft. It's interesting because so many people who struggle with growth as a creator, they don't do nearly the things that you do in terms of, it seems to me like you're constantly reinvesting back into yourself.
Exactly, because I'm like such a perfectionist. Like now I look at my videos and I like it, but I go like I can do better. Especially the videos like I try new formats where like I'm supposed to like act a little.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fake. Like I gotta delete it. I'm not gonna even post it. So I was like go like, okay, maybe I should take acting course.
So you took an acting course.
Yeah, I did start. I mean, I just recently started that. And I was like, okay, it's interesting. And I like because it changed so much. Every time I invest in myself, like even my content, everything grows.
Okay. Look, it's incredible. So tell me about your course. So how does it work? Is like in terms of people sign up and then you have, is it like weekly Zoom calls that you do? Or do you do in-person meetings?
So yeah, the last one I just finished last like 2 weeks ago. It was a live one, and so I was working. It was like a VIP group. Was working with a group of ladies who signed up, and we were doing live. So I had 11 classes online for like 2.5 hours, and we were live doing the body language, the etiquette. It was so cool because like as I said, I'm perfectionist. So she would just on the Zoom, I would tell her how to sit, how to get up, how to move this and that and purse, and she would have to repeat and repeat until it gets perfect. And I would let her go until she looks perfect. The same way we did dining etiquette. So we had all our stuff set up, and we had even like some meal together. So I taught them how to use this and that. So it was a live one, the last one live. But now I'm planning actually to do like a club, something like membership thing.
Sure.
And it's going to be also about all female cool stuff, like so interesting, like a new project I'm planning to do.
Well, that's incredible. How did you get started in this? I'm trying to understand, and I'm interested in your origin story. So how did you get to the point where like it doesn't sound like you just fell into it. It sounds to me like this was very intentional. So what were you doing before you were a creator? And again, this is only a year, and you're only like not even 2 years into this career at 1.5 million followers on Instagram. But what were you doing beforehand?
So beforehand, my first degree as a lawyer, I have a lawyer degree,
Right.
but then I was a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 kids.
Yes.
For 8 years.
How old are your kids again?
They are 11, 9, and 6.
Okay.
And then life happens. I got a divorce, and then it was like, now I gotta get a job. Also, it's not because of the money, but also because like I want to become somebody, not just like
Sure.
be a mom or like
Sure.
make borscht. Know how to,
Although borscht is good, but
Borscht
yeah.
is good. Borscht is important. But then it was like, I want to make some career. I want to become someone. And then started to search for myself. And I went to psychologists, trying different things, and tried to remember what I liked when I was a kid. Everyone says like, remember what you wanted to do when you were 5. And they told me, okay, I like interior design. So I went and I studied interior design. It was my second degree. I got as interior designer, and I realized all you do, you gotta sit on a computer and draw different,
Then you weren't you weren't into
and I
that.
was like so lame. I was like, I'm so bored. I want to talk to people. But then I was like, okay, how about I do real estate? And I got a license in that, and I tried that. I mean, like it was also not what I wanted. I didn't like calling people like, oh, you want to sell your home? It's like, okay. And I was like, I was still always, even when I was doing that, I was all about making like photos and videos in front of doing all this. And I was like, maybe I should start a blog about this real estate. So while I was doing the real estate. And so I was making videos about real estate. And then I didn't like them. Like what I was talking about, it wasn't about me. So people were telling me, okay, you should do something, some content that's about you. And I was like, what about me? Like, but you're so great. You're like feminine, blah, blah. So like, okay, but there are many pretty women, many femme, but they go like, but they're different. And I was like, okay, what's so special? And I was like, okay, maybe this is elegance, maybe something I move, something I do. And I started looking into that. And actually I used like a few professionals, looked into some things that I can teach already. And I was like, okay.
So you got someone to consult you, to talk to you about what you could teach?
I did have producer.
Okay.
Yes. And I was like a few of them through my journey. And the first lady, she was like, okay, how about we do this and that? And you teach about this. And I was like, okay, I love etiquette, but I have no idea what it is, how to teach. Of course, I have something, but I was taught.
But it's not just etiquette. It's etiquette with a specific use case.
yeah,
It's etiquette
etiquette.
for women on how to attract, a lot of it is how to attract men, but in general, how to be taken more kind of seriously and attract.
Oh, that was a different course about relationships. But what I did, I got a third degree as a teacher of etiquette and protocol, and it's about dining and soft skills like talking, elegance, all that. So it's not just about, it has nothing to do with relationship with men, actually.
Okay.
So, and then it was like, okay, I think a woman, the one who like great, she should know how to behave, how to look great, she should know how to talk to people, how to be nice. And I came up with like, okay, but also there was something with looking healthy, because I had 3 kids and I was bigger. I had to lose like 40 pounds myself. And I know how to do that as well. So I was like, okay, how about I add it all in one program and make it all like transformational? So that was my point. I put on all those subjects somehow just one day. Like universe, God sent me that thought in my head. I don't know. That's how it happened. Actually, I was like, oh my gosh, how about I do a course? And my first idea, how to do it for free? I call my friends and teach them for free.
But this was before you had an audience.
Yes, I didn't have any audience.
Okay, but
It was like 2000.
right, but I'm trying to understand, like, in those early days, which wasn't that long ago, but in those early days, how did you keep yourself motivated when you weren't growing, and how did you start? I mean, that to me is really interesting, because a lot of people are in a situation where they've either haven't started yet, and it's very intimidating for them to make that first post and to continue posting, or they have a couple of hundred posts up and they're not getting traction. So was it difficult in those beginning days to?
It was
How
so
did you get
difficult.
over it?
It was so difficult. I even have a video where I'm crying. Sometimes I post it, and I had like 100 people, 100, no, 200 followers, not 1,000.
No, I understand.
And I was like, oh my gosh, all I do, I post, and people unfollow me and unfollow, and it was so sad. So I'm just like Capricorn. I always get what I want, and it was like one day, if I keep working hard and I post, I got a rule: you gotta post like 2 videos a day. And I've been doing that for like 3 months, 4 months. And it was like, sometimes I had those days when I was like, okay, I gotta leave it. But I was like, no, I like it so much. And people around, like there are some people who did like it, who followed me. So it's like, oh my gosh, you're so great. You're gonna make 1 million followers. They're like, what, me, 1 million followers? Maybe in 10 years. But then it happened like in 7 months.
Right.
So you just like, what do? You just keep doing what you do. And you keep posting those few videos, at least once a day. And then you'll get there. Instagram will get also the idea of your format. It's very important.
But you took off once you discovered this new format.
Yes, exactly. Just that one.
How many posts did you make until you discovered that format, that successful
Like
format?
100.
100?
Yes, at
Yeah,
least.
and that's not a lot.
It's not a lot because I don't even have that many. I mean, like I was posting different ones. Like you like make a pretty video, you put a text. So I tried many, but actually the trick is to find like 3 good ones, and you keep posting those 3. Don't have
3
like,
good formats.
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
good formats.
I agree.
Don't do like 10 different ones every day, because Instagram, it has to like understand, oh, this is your format, and it's gonna attract people to that particular and get views.
Do you do collaborations with other creators?
I haven't. I just recently joined you guys, so I'm super excited to start doing this.
Yeah, but you hadn't done
haven't
any
yet.
collaborations. I think that's going to be a good growth tool for you.
Super excited to do that
moving
with
forward.
the
Moving
ladies
forward.
in the community.
Absolutely. One of the things that you and I were talking about off camera was, from a monetization perspective, you're right now monetizing through your through your courses, and then eventually you're going to do the community. And one of the things that I noticed is that you're not tagging the fashion brands, and you and I started talking about that. So I believe that that's your kind of, because you mentioned that you do want to do brand partnerships, which, by the way, are very lucrative. I mean, if you do enough of them and you're already at a scale where you can charge and justify a rate, that is something that you can progress with. And what I had suggested to you was tagging all of the fashion brands, because, and I didn't mention this before, but in those split screen concept that you do in that format, you're very intentional with how you're dressed. So being as intentional as you are on how you're dressed, you're not tagging those brands. And so what I want to say is that like the fact that you discovered a format that gets hundreds of thousands and oftentimes millions of views every time you post it up. First of all, I suggest doing more volume because as much as I'm seeing them, I just don't think you're doing them enough.
Yeah, recently I've been a little bit off.
That's fair. And that happens, by the way. That's completely normal. That happens. And you kind of work to get back to your baseline by doing by resting. You just got back from Lake Como, I saw.
Yes. Yes.
So you had some time to rest there, I assume.
Actually, in Lake Como, you told me, you asked me like how my life changed. When they found out I have 1 million followers, they got me an upgrade room, which was like $2,000 more, the biggest, the largest one. And also asked me, oh, can you tag us? That's all. And I got the most beautiful room.
So I'll let you in.
Exciting.
I'll let you in on a little secret. If you keep doing what you're doing, that trip won't cost you anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
About the flight tickets?
The flights. No, I think you'll likely still pay for the flights. I don't hear of creators getting like major airlines paying, although I'm sure it happens. We haven't had it happen, but in terms of the trip, you'll see that there will be properties all over the world. There will be large hotel chains, companies that have villas. They'll be reaching out and asking you to stay. Experiences. So as you continue to scale. But just getting back to the format, so I definitely, considering how intentional your outfits are and all the videos that you make, I do highly recommend that you tag everybody there.
Thank you. I should definitely start doing
It's
that.
just an easy thing for you to do.
Yeah, because I would think I'm actually going to give them credit for free and they're never going to contact. I mean, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that for a second. So it's a common belief that creators have, especially creators with your scale, that I don't want to give away this benefit for free. Like these guys should be paying me. I disagree with it because you have to think about what the benefit to you and your community is, like your audience. Because what happens is when you're tagging the brands, you become a discovery tool. So if you think back to like the old school magazines, like the Cosmo and the Vogue, whenever they would do a spread where it's like a multi-page photo shoot, and there would be different models, and depending what the theme of the like, let's say it was like fall fashion or something like that, or sweaters,
Okay.
they would actually always, they went as far as putting in the name of the designer, and they would put in, like, they would just type it out, like the website address and the price for that particular piece of clothing. And those were editorials. They weren't paid by those fashion brands. Eventually, those fashion brands started paying them later because those fashion brands saw that I'm getting editorial exposure in this magazine. It's the same thing with creators. So if you are tagging those brands, and especially like the first benefit is to the followers, right? Because when the followers see it, they now know where they can buy it. So there's an even bigger benefit now to following you and to consuming your content, because not only are you teaching them the correct posture and how to carry yourself in your split screen concept, you're also showing them where they can dress, like how they can dress. So that's the first thing, is it's a benefit to the follower, and you're helping build that community by giving them more value. And then the second thing is that some of those brands will eventually catch on, because let's say a video comes out and it has 2 million views and they were tagged. They're going to see that they were tagged. They're going to see it got 2 million views. They're likely going to tie it back into revenue, because they're going to see some kind of a spike, and they won't understand why. They'll be like, oh my God, I got this spike in revenue. People started buying this brown dress.
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't know why they're like, why they're buying this brown dress? Then they ask the social media manager, it's crazy. We started selling this brown dress, and the social media manager says, hold on a second. And they go into the profile, they click on the heart in the top right corner, and they see who tagged, especially if it was in the last 24 hours. And they say, oh, Tetiana tagged. This video got 3 million views. She was wearing the brown dress and she tagged this, and now the brown dress sold out. So that brand may not contact you the first time. They may say, oh, I got it for free, good for us. But they might contact you again if you use that same brand again. Then they might say, okay, well, obviously this is how the marketer will think, right? They're thinking, okay, Tetiana made the video, she tagged our dress. For whatever reason, her audience and the people who watched that video converted into sales. So they're going to say, okay, well, now we're coming out with a blue dress. So they'll say, maybe we'll just gift it to her. So at least you'll start getting brands contacting you saying, can I give you this? That's going to start happening. But eventually they're going to say, can I pay you? So I think that's like the easiest way for you to increase start diversifying your revenue stream.
Exactly. That's a great idea.
Is by tagging them.
Okay.
It's not a new idea.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what creators do. Just don't be so stingy. Don't be żadne with your tags. Żadne means
I'm going to be stingy with that.
I'm just don't do that, because it costs you nothing, and it's a great value for your followers, and it's a great value for the brands. So tell me about kind of your growth plans now. So you haven't been doing, and you said yourself, like, you haven't been doing this format are you scaling back on it on purpose, or is it just you haven't found the time? Do you plan on doing it more often?
Yeah, actually, I'm planning to like start like big growth the next few months because I want to start my club. Like it's like high value women in a circle.
Yeah.
I'm starting that, and in order to get more people in my club, I want to actually, wake up my account because it's been sleeping for a while. So yeah, those videos are gonna do this, and of course, like some collaborations. So I'm planning to kick in for the autumn. I mean, it's already October, middle
It
of
is.
autumn.
But what's stopping you now from making more of those videos? Like what's your blocker?
It was actually a personal thing.
Okay, fair. The reason I'm asking is because it's not like because of the production is too hard.
No, production is super easy.
Right.
Also, I do it on a professional camera to make it better quality. But actually, there was one thing. At some point, I was like, I'm tired of them. I know people get, interacted and all that, but it's like I want to do something new, something fresh, blah blah. I tried different formats after this, and they gain like a 50,000 views, and it's like from a few millions. I was like, oh my gosh, this is bad. So I gotta go back in order to gain my followers more.
Yeah. So I have some comments about that because I think now we can get into kind of, strategy and tactics. That format that you have, because I have this conversation internally a lot with Valeria's team, that format that you have that works, you should always do a certain amount of them until it stops getting views. Because someday it might stop getting views. But in the meantime, by you not doing them, I assure you that other people have started doing them because they've seen your numbers with them.
So many people.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But if people know you for that, it works for you. My suggestion for you is to do as many of them as you can. I know that you may not be motivated by them anymore. You may not be passionate about them anymore. And at that point, my advice to you is to lean into the discipline of your profession.
Just take it.
Well, it's your job, right? It's your job. And so
exactly.
if that's what's driving your growth, and then when they come in off of that, they now can see all this other new things that you want to do that you're more passionate about, then just use it for that. Use it as a tool to gain new audience, to grow your metrics, so then you can, do new things. And the thing is that you're going to come up with a new format.
Yeah, sure.
So are you actively trying to find that new format?
Yeah, actually, like, so I have the different one when just like a talking head.
Yeah.
When I tell something also a little bit spicy.
Okay, good.
Some people, like, especially about relationships, people get really upset or happy or excited. And another one, I try just aesthetics and putting some text.
Sure.
Or like, the one that are getting, like, it's just like a 3 seconds video, and then you like the whole text in our captions. So
Right.
yeah, so
Right.
I'm trying different ones, but the one that gains views, it's just half and half.
But you're going to find another format that gains views. I'm certain of it.
Yeah,
certain of it.
probably.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I hope.
What is there? I mean, I'd love to help. Do you have any questions or are there any blockers that you have right now that we could, you and I can collaborate on right now and talk through them?
Well, actually, my main one is like really to make money as much as I can from my blog, because I'm giving so much free information, so much education, and I get all those nice messages from people, but they aren't gonna help me pay bills
Fair.
or feed my kids.
No, I agree.
So like I put so much effort and work. So as you said, like try and tag people with like
Try and tag the
including
brands.
for the brands, yeah. And what else would you recommend?
So I recommend. So right now, I'm not in your content. I don't feel like I see enough. I'm not a big fan necessarily of grid aesthetic. I don't believe grid aesthetic is that important, but I believe grid continuity is. And what I mean by that is that I think you need some more, like you need another format that it doesn't necessarily, you don't need it to perform, because here's what's happening. You have a viral concept that you've come up with. And so now every time you try a different format, you're looking at those numbers, and you just mentioned that you're looking at the number of this new format compared to the format that you have that goes viral. And in your mind, you're not looking at like, oh my God, I got 100,000 views on this video as compared to the million you got over here. You're like, I lost 900,000 views.
Exactly.
That's the incorrect way to look at it. You got to look on the net positive of gaining those 100,000. So what I would do if I were you from a monetization perspective, I would put a spin on your existing concept. And I'm just kind of thinking outside of the box, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But you're creating content, and let's just call it, like, I just want to, for argument's sake, call it helping women meet high quality men, helping them attract high quality men, not
Yeah,
me.
well, it's one of the things, but I just want to be like all
But
about
that's a good
like
one.
meeting. It's a good one, but sometimes people think, oh, you're like, what do you call it, mommy? But it's not just about that. And helping women become confident to do everything
Sure.
in their life,
Okay.
also with the work, with the business.
Perfect.
But
Perfect.
it's one of them, exactly.
Perfect. How much would you say is tied into their appearance?
Like 80%.
80%. So why wouldn't you be doing beauty tutorials, fashion tutorials on specific use cases? So here's my fashion and here's my beauty routine for a first date. And on that first date, I want to cast this type of impression. On that business meeting, I want this type of impression. On meeting parents at my kid's school, and like for the purpose of integrating, like creating relationships within the school because it's good for my child that I have relationships, like I'm well known and respected in the school among the school community. And so you have all of these different places that women show up in day-to-day
Oh,
life.
that's a great idea. I love that.
Oh, thank you. But I just want to finish iterating on it, and I want to riff with you. I want to like riff with you on it because I want to know what you think about it. So imagine the concept of this is like how I'm doing my beauty routine on a date. This is how I go to meet the children's teacher because I want to get a certain impression, a good impression there. The business meeting, the real estate deal, and so you have these different things where women need to show up in life and they need to portray themselves in a certain way. And you can do the beauty routine and you can do the fashion. And then you can also do the etiquette and you can do the body language and the posture. And every time you do that, you're doing it. The beauty routine obviously will have a number of different cosmetics. The fashion is obvious, you'll have fashion. And you continue to tag all those brands. And and the series, it would be like a single series with different use cases. And you could base it on your life. And so here's what I like about basing it on your life. I like basing it on your life because it humanizes you even more.
Yeah.
And it brings in your story. So you mentioned to me that you've got an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, right?
Yeah, I'm 6.
11, 9, and 6. 6 I remembered because Maxi's also 6, our youngest. In that situation where you're going to the meeting with the teacher, with your 11-year-old's teacher, when you talk about that, you can in your monologue, when you're doing, let's say, your fashion routine, you can talk about what you're wearing and why to cast a certain impression on the teacher because you want that teacher to treat your kid well, right? But also like the story. So I'm going to Katya's school and, Katya, she's having problems without being too personal. Like Katya doesn't like math and I want her to be better at math. And once you start talking about the math and then you're talking about going to the impression you want to give at the school to the teacher. So you incorporate not only the products, but you're also incorporating the story. Yeah. And if you don't want to talk about your kids, that's fine. You can talk about going on a date. You can talk about travel. You can talk about whoever it is. But I just like this concept of getting ready for different things. You have the product piece, which is going to help in monetization. You've got the education piece, which helps about how the person who's consuming the video the benefit that they'll gain from that, knowing how to handle themselves there. And then the last one is the storytelling that ties it back into your life, which really gets people hooked into your content. So this is a format that I think will kind of, there's a lot of utility in this format.
That's amazing. People pay money for that. Thank you.
They do, yeah, they do.
That's amazing, actually.
Good. I'm glad.
So yeah, right now I'm working on remodeling some parts of my house. So my videos are going to be more Instagrammable because for now I wanted to make them because I don't like this. I got to change the closet and the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then it would be like amazing. I really don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, do it. But in the meantime, my advice to you, if you agree, and it's okay if you don't, but if you agree with this concept that you and I just talked about, and if you start laying it out, if you're telling me it's going to be 3 months until your remodeling's done, what my suggestion is, don't wait 3 months until that remodeling's done. Like today or tomorrow, sit down, map out the different scenarios and everything and like document it. And tomorrow create your first one because it's a low lift. You're getting dressed somewhere is what I'm saying. So if that place is good enough, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good idea. I should think about it.
Think about it.
The place for the recording.
You know what? Valeria's not too picky about where she films because it's all about, that's the background. That's why it's called the background. It's in the back.
Yeah, you guys got a beautiful house.
Thank you. Thank you. But it's simple. There's not a lot of complexity to our house.
Yes, that's why it's beautiful because it's a lot of modern and it's like every outfit works that Valeria puts on, so it's great.
It's neutral. The background
Yeah,
is neutral.
neutral,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
neutral.
Yeah.
Do you have any other? Okay, so we talked about monetization. We talked about content strategy. Is there anything else you
How
want to
about
chat about?
YouTube? Like, do you guys do
Oh,
YouTube?
so yeah, we do YouTube. So okay, so I was actually going to ask you because I think for YouTube you have an opportunity. Okay, so here's the thing: creators can be categorized into two different kind of broad buckets. One is the aesthetic creator. One is the knowledge-based creator, right? And in your case, you're both.
Yeah.
You're both the aesthetic and the knowledge-based creator. So on the knowledge side, you have an opportunity to do podcasts, but to do solo podcasts. Have you considered that, or are you doing that now? Because I didn't.
No, I haven't considered that, but I want to start doing something like what you guys do. But I'm gonna invite ladies also to do podcasts with me. So like my own podcast.
You can, but here's where I think that something you can do immediately for low cost, and that'll have a high impact. So you and I right now are in a podcast studio. This isn't my home. This isn't even my studio. There are several studios like this in every city in the United States and probably in the world. You can go into a place like this. You pay a modest fee, and not too modest. You don't have to. You don't raise the prices, okay? But you pay a fee. You sit down. You can do a monologue. You can do by yourself, or you can sit in the same chair or over there. There's a set, and it'll film you, and then they'll create the full YouTube video. So if you sit down for 30 minutes, they'll create a YouTube video for you, and you can take that and literally upload it. They'll also create the thumbnails for YouTube. You can write the titles, they can write the titles, and now you have a YouTube video based on a long conversation on you by yourself for 30 minutes. Then the audio can go up to both Spotify and iTunes through a platform called Megaphone. So now you have audio. So now you're building audience on YouTube. Now you're building audience on the audio platforms, and then these same guys who do the edits here, they'll be able to give you on a 30-minute clip, maybe like anywhere from 4 to 6 reels. You take the reels, you load those to Instagram, and you have to not care if they underperform at first, right? Remember, because we talked about that, right?
Actually, I have all this equipment at home. I have
Well, you can do it,
professional
sure.
And the cameras.
I'm just thinking about your time.
This is awesome.
I'm just thinking about
I
your
love
time.
that.
After the YouTube video goes to YouTube, after the audio goes to Spotify and iTunes, the reels go onto Instagram. Those videos also go to TikTok. They also go to YouTube Shorts. And on YouTube Shorts, when you post the YouTube Shorts, you can put in the link to the full-length video that it got taken from. So now those shorts will typically get more views on YouTube. They get more distribution than the long-form videos. So when those YouTube Shorts get views, it references back to the video. So it ties it actually feeds the long-form video. So
That's how you do that.
this is all from you sitting down for 30 minutes. And by the way, the pre-production is not going to be more than 20 minutes. Now that there's ChatGPT, we for the last almost like 9 years have been doing this all manually until a year ago when ChatGPT came along, and now we're able to get ChatGPT to do the heavy lifting and we do the edits. So if you have a concept, let's say when you want to sit down and talk about, for 30 minutes about how to cast a good impression on your child's teacher, as an example, you can go into ChatGPT, you can explain what you want to talk about, and then ChatGPT will give you bullet points, not a script, and then you have a whiteboard over there, you can refer to it, and then you can just, the pre-production is 30 minutes, the sit down is 30 minutes, and then you get all of the content sent to you, and then it'll be another maybe 30 minutes to deploy it. So in under 2 hours a week, you're putting up a YouTube video, audio to iTunes and Spotify, 5 or 6 reels, 5 or 6 TikToks, 5 or 6 YouTube shorts, feeding back to the long form. So that I think you should consider.
That sounds amazing.
But it's
I
easy.
should do that.
It's easy to do. So, but you have a lot to talk about. And I've seen coaches like you. I've actually saw that there was a woman, I saw her years ago, and she was talking about, but she was strictly about like how to appeal to men, right? So yeah, that's one thing. And then on your accent, tell me more about your accent.
So yeah, like a year ago when I started growing, people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's so bad," and it was so much worse. I've been working for a year, twice a week I take classes. And so when I think like if it's a video, it's okay, but listening to a person who has like accent, I still do know I have it, and for some people it's really heavy. It feels like they're not gonna like it at all for like the Spotify. I wanted to do that for a long time, but I was like, maybe I need to work on my accent for another year.
Okay, so I have a comment about that. You're completely wrong.
Really?
Yeah, you're completely wrong. You couldn't be more wrong. Accents make people endearing and relatable. Because, no, it's true. Because many people have accents. And I would actually argue that the fact that you would sit down for 30 minutes once or twice a week and create these clips and put them out, create like the sit down, the videos and the audio, the amount of respect that you're going to get from people is going to be much greater than you think. The only thing is that those people who respect the fact that you're doing this, despite the fact that you do have an accent, they're not loud. Those people aren't loud. They're not vocal. The people who are loud is the small group of people who are just talking trash. And so what happens is, because you don't hear the positive reinforcement, you're letting that negative reinforcement dictate what you're doing professionally. You can't do that. Valeria has an accent. She had one. It was more prominent 9 years ago. People love that about her. It made her endearing, and it makes you endearing too. You know what I mean by endearing?
Oh, I can guess.
Endearing is like, it makes people relate to you. It makes them like you more. So where you think that people don't like it, the people that don't like it are the people that wouldn't like you no matter what.
To hear that so badly.
No, but it's true.
you.
Those people wouldn't have liked you anyways, even if your English was crystal clear.
Really?
Of course.
Look at them.
They won't like you for other things. They won't like you because you're pretty. They won't like you because you dress well. They won't like you because you have a 1.5 million followers. There's a whole bunch of reasons they won't like you.
Exactly.
They won't like you no matter what, accent or no accent.
Yeah,
More
you're
people,
so right.
more people like you because of your accent. Like I, for example, I like the fact that you came down to sit with me, and because now that I know that you have like an insecurity about it, but the fact that you're overcoming it, I think even highly of you, more highly of you now.
Thank you.
No, but it's true, right? But don't you think the same way? Like if you're somewhere and a comedian goes on stage, or a speaker goes somewhere and they're giving a speech, and you can see that they're doing it even though it's difficult for them, don't you feel more drawn to that person?
Exactly, I do. Yeah.
There's your answer. So you just got to get out of your own head and go like hard. Like if I were you, I'd be even hoping that your accent never goes away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I should just stop taking classes.
Well, listen, take it if it makes you feel better. I want to comment on one other thing with you. You are very much into self-improvement, like in terms of taking classes. You're a Creator Method member. You're like, what is driving this? Because I believe that this constant, like content creation in itself is a massive tool for self-improvement. So do you agree with me, first of all, on that statement?
100%. I wanted to say that every time you watch a video, you go like, okay, maybe I should say this louder. Maybe I should say this more clear.
Yeah.
Or like dress up better. So you improve all the time, even like for your everyday life. So content creation helps you along the way.
Absolutely. You know what else it helps? You know how else it helps you? It also helps you that when you walk into a room and people look and say, holy shit, it's her. Right?
Yeah.
That must help with confidence,
sure.
right? That helps a
Exactly.
lot.
Yeah.
And then you're getting paid on top of that. And I want to tell you that once you start implementing some of these kind of strategies on the monetization side with brands, and those brands start coming forward, and you get a call and they say, you know, how much do you charge? And you give them the number and they say, okay, you're going to be like, okay, you're going to, you know, that's all part of self-improvement. You know, that all fuels it as well. Tetiana, do you have any other questions for me?
No, I don't
No,
have any
we're
more.
good. Listen,
Yeah,
I want
that's
to,
great.
I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me here.
well,
It was amazing.
It's my pleasure. You were at the Creator Method lunch a few weeks ago, about over a month ago. So we're gonna have we have a summit coming up in November, around the first week of November. So I hope to see you. And you're in Miami,
Is it
so
going to be in Miami?
it's gonna be in Miami.
And what is it going to be like? Lunch? Like what type
It's
of
gonna be
event?
an all day. So were you with the one in New York?
No, I couldn't come.
That's okay. That's okay. So we're gonna have like 2 or 3 of them a year, the all day ones. And so this one is going to be in Miami, and I mean we haven't decided on the programming yet, but there's gonna be panel discussions. It's gonna be an all day event.
Amazing. I'm so excited. Actually, there was one thing
Yes.
that I got like excited about it. So when I came to your event, the one for the lunch,
Yeah.
so there was one girl, super sweet and nice, and she goes like, what do you do? And I show her my Instagram, and she goes like, oh my gosh, I've seen you, I follow you. This is you, really you. I was like, yeah, this is me. She's like, I can't believe it. And it felt good. You
Of
asked me like
course.
how my life changed. It does feel good because so my hard work pays off.
You know what? It definitely does. And the thing is that you're only at the beginning of this. You're very young, so you have a long runway ahead of you. And I just want to leave you with maybe, you know, one thing, and that is when you're looking at like the Tetiana, the personal brand, think about what Tetiana, the personal brand looks like in 20, 25 years from now. Because when you take action to create that brand 25 years from now, the short term will take care of itself. And the other thing I mean by that is that when you're putting out a new format, like with these monologues, these 30-minute monologues and the reels that you'll create from it, what's going to likely happen is they will underperform. They may only get 20, 50, 100,000 views.
Yeah.
But if you have to consider it, if I keep doing this and this grows and I grow an audience for this concept, not a viral concept, but a concept that takes time to build, because if it takes time to build and effort, it's going to be an even more powerful format later on where people won't be able to copy it because it's going to be very unique to you. And so just think about, if it gets low views today, try not to care. Try to keep going, thinking about what is that personal brand going to look like 25 years from now.
So just keep going.
You got to keep going, analyzing and keep iterating on things. Tetiana, thank you. I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be a part of your journey together with the
Thank
Creative
you.
Matter.
Thank
You guys
you.
are so nice.
Well, it means a lot that you've joined us and you continue to work with us.
And I'm super excited for the November event.
Yes.
Definitely coming.
Good. You have no excuse. You live in Miami.
Yes.
We'll see you there. Thank you.